What's going on, guys? Patrick here, bringing you a brand new video. Today we got another killer video for you guys, full of information. Today we're going to be looking at the recent Bitcoin dump and are we still bullish? We'll also be talking about the fake, apparently, Satoshi moving his Bitcoin rumor, as well as tons of other news that went on in the cryptocurrency space. But guys, as always, before we get started with that, if you guys are interested in making money with cryptocurrencies, make sure you check out the first link in the description or the first link in the comments for the cryptocurrency trade alert group. I post every single one of the trades that brought me and my team to a six-figure portfolio in this group, so that if you're a complete beginner, if you don't have time to do technical analysis, or if you don't know how to do technical analysis, you can copy our exact trade. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to set up, and after that, profits are taken automatically for you, so it becomes very, very passive. We have altcoin trades, we have leverage trades, and we have the #1 community in the cryptocurrency space, full of people ready and able to answer any question that you have 24/7. We have a free trial going on, so for 2 weeks, 14 days, you can sign up completely risk-free. And if for some crazy reason this doesn't work out for you or you don't like it, then don't worry, you can simply cancel and you will avoid getting charged. We are breaking down all the barriers to get started with this and trying to help as many people out as we can. We've been able to capitalize on a ton of trades recently, including a couple of shorts that were able to hit multiple targets. So if that sounds interesting to you guys, make sure you check out that link down below, and I can't wait to see you guys in there. But without further ado, let's jump into the Bitcoin technical analysis and what exactly is going on. Well, we started to see a little bit of a recovery ever since we had this major drop that came in. Now, this was roughly, I believe, a 10% move. I saw 5 to 10% move depending on which candle exactly you're talking about. We had one 1 hour candle that dropped around 5%. Then from there, we had a continued cool off where Bitcoin did continue to sell downwards. Now, you will notice looking at the 1 hour chart, previously we were above the EMA ribbon. We had talked about that several times and how it had been acting as support. Now, if you know what you're doing and you were able to capitalize on that, you could have made some very serious gains, because look at how many times Bitcoin did come in and actually bounce off, bounce off, bounce off, even though these seem like small moves. If you were to use an exchange which allows you to leverage, if you know what you're doing, obviously, then you could have made some very good gains. And again, very similar, big candle came down into a short, broke right below the EMA ribbon. We had that flip on the ribbon as well, and now we are below. No surprise here, we had one big candle, and from there, the price being so far away from the EMA ribbon, we had the next few candles bringing us back. This is the 1 hour time frame, bringing us back into closer to the EMA ribbon. Again, sell-off came from there. Same thing happened again, right? We came back in. Now we are testing the resistance that is up here into the EMA ribbon. We'll notice we're going to see there's a wick right now. It could be that we are rejecting off of this, but until further confirmation, we don't know for sure. Especially after a big move like this, you don't want to jump in too early. You want to make sure you know what you're doing. You want to make sure you have everything in place, your strategy secured, and you're not just jumping in, FOMOing in any direction. But that's just on the 1 hour time frame. And sure, things might look bad. You'll notice even we all have a little bit of a trend line we can draw here, which we bounced off of several times, right? We had the first one, we had the second one, again, multiple times we bouncing off that. So it's going to be something to look at as well if we continue up, or if we do break below, then we could see a little more red. And again, that sounds bearish, but bear with me, because it's not as bad as people are making it out, especially when you look at the bigger time frames. Because I've noticed one thing a lot of people are talking about, a lot of people get excited about, is the fact that, you know, we had the halving, the bull run, all that, and so every single move that happens in the downside is called a dump. And that's primarily, I think I might have used in the title, I don't know if I did, but the issue with using the word dump is a 5% move is not really that much. Now, sure, it happened in one 1 hour candle, and then from there we even might have had a 10% move. But overall for Bitcoin, by this time, people should understand, people should know, if you've been in this market, that this happens often. Right? We can't have a dump every week. It just takes away from the meaning of the word dump. So that's one thing to keep in mind as well. 4 hour time frame, no surprise, we broke below as well. On the smaller time frames, broke below the EMA ribbon. Again, in a bearish trend. Now, obviously, we are coming up to retest the EMA ribbon. These are all very straightforward things. If you've been in the market and you know what you're doing, you've been around for some time, these things are just very easy to find, right? These are just very easy patterns that happen over and over and over again. And one of the things that I use, again, I say this all the time, I use the EMA ribbon all the time to determine the overall trend, so I can apply my trades that way. But even just the very basics of big drop away from the EMA ribbon coming into a recovery, all of that happens over and over and over again, multiple times every single month, and is something people can easily capitalize on. Now, moving into the bigger time frames, which are the interesting ones, because short term, 1 hour, 4 hour, we turned bearish, right? We went below the EMA ribbon, things looked a little more bearish. However, daily time frame, things are looking a little bit different, because the daily time frame, the big picture, and you guys remember what I've been saying for the longest time, short term, we're still going to see ups and downs in the market. It's always going to happen, right? Even if we're in a bear market, there's going to be ups, and even when we're in a bull market, there's going to be downs. The big time frames you want to be looking at are the big picture moves, right? That's where you want to identify the overall trend. And as of right now, we have something very similar than what happened a few days ago on the 12th of May, where Bitcoin had a big sell-off into testing the support of the EMA ribbon, and currently that's where we are at. So no indication as of right now for us breaking below the EMA ribbon. Until that happens on the daily time frame, there's no reason to be longer term bearish. You see, the last time we broke below on the 26th of February, we had obviously some bearish movement. From there, again, very simple, big gap. You could have capitalized on a multi-day swing trade, right? Which went from Bitcoin being down to $3,500 all the way up to $7,400. If you were in a position there, it could have gone very, very well for you. And then from there, we saw several bounces off of the resistances. Eventually, we broke above. We had that flip, and then Bitcoin's been bullish in a bullish pattern since. So that's something to keep in mind. You know, short term, big dumps happen. Big dumps, 5-10% for Bitcoin is not a big dump. We've seen way worse happen way more times for people to get surprised or, you know, get scared by a 5 to 10% move. And we're going to even talk about the reason for the 5% move towards the end of this video, talking about Satoshi moving his coins, if it was really him, if it was just a fake rumor. So like I said before, make sure you guys stay all the way until the end. One last time frame we want to look at, which we don't look at very often. Actually, one last thing, the daily time frame, you'll notice, similar to what I drew before, we have a trend line happening over here as well. You can draw a little bit differently, but you guys get the overall picture. We've been following a trend line here, bouncing several times. Something to see, to keep an eye on as well. If we break below, that could indicate, again, breaking below this, breaking below the EMA ribbon, we would see Bitcoin be a little more bearish for some time, but still would not mean that long term we would be bearish. Weekly time frame, now this is, again, we have a big gap from the EMA ribbon over here. You notice the flip that came in. This was the big highlight that a lot of people were talking about to turn bullish, because this had only happened a handful of times before. I believe it was like 4 times before, and every single time previously, this was one of them, we saw this huge move for Bitcoin following, right? Again, it had ups and downs. Look at the wicks, right? We had ups and downs, ups and downs. Look at this drop that happened here. However, overall, you guys can see the big time frame, it's very clear we were moving in the upward direction. So good news for Bitcoin overall. It's still looking bullish. In the short term, maybe we could see some more drops, some more price action here and there. But long term, I still believe we are on track to do well towards the end of the year. Now, this article, despite 10% drop, Bitcoin still high time frame bullish for this key reason. I'm starting to think they're watching my videos, because that's what I say. I always talk about short and long-term time frames. Meanwhile, most other people out here are just talking about short term, or they're only talking about long term. I like to give you guys a little bit of a breakdown on both, just to make sure you guys know what's going on, and I can explain myself well. Because if I just say I'm bearish, then Bitcoin long term goes up, people are going to say, oh, but you said it was bearish. I meant short term bearish. It went down then. Long term, we are still looking very, very bullish. So a lot of good reasons for us to still see the price as bullish long term, which is one thing I want to strongly emphasize. Bitcoin the last 24 hours, after that major drop that came in, it is now up 1.65%, meaning all the other altcoins are seeing a nice little pump as well. Look at the likes of DGB, up 21%. Another one, Qtum, up 10%. Oh, we see one fan favorite, Nano, up almost 12%. So on. A good day for a lot of altcoins, a lot to be made. OMG. Oh my God, for OMG. It's kind of funny. But no, 50% gains. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Oh my God, right? OMG is up 50%. Now, moving into some very bullish news in my opinion as well. Shopify added cryptocurrency payment option to merchants. Shopify, the biggest e-commerce, I believe one of the biggest e-commerce platforms, if not the biggest. A lot of people host their e-commerce businesses on there, either drop shipping or whatever different type of e-commerce business they have. I've used Shopify before in one of my previous businesses. It's an awesome platform. It's great. I loved it. And now they added cryptocurrency, which means online, which I've said several times before, I think Bitcoin as of right now should focus on being accepted online for e-commerce. That's what it looks like is getting more and more adoption. I've said it over and over and over again. I'm not looking at being able to go to the supermarket and use Bitcoin yet. I want to be able to use it online first because that's where things are easier. That's where I think it's going to thrive and gain adoption first. Not only that, but the Iranian president called for a national crypto mining strategy. One of the biggest pieces of national news that I've seen, or worldwide news from a whole country talking about Bitcoin and crypto. The crypto mining strategy. I believe Iran owns like 4% of Bitcoin. I've read that somewhere. That might be completely wrong, so don't quote me on that one. But the good thing is, the big piece of news, the bullish piece of news here, they are strongly looking at it, and I would not be surprised if a lot of other countries follow suit. Now let's get into the big topic, which is Satoshi moving his coins. Maybe not Satoshi moving his coins. Somebody moved their coins from the year 2009. They haven't moved it since 2000. It was a dormant wallet, meaning nobody moved anything, nobody touched it since 2009. And for the first time, these coins were moved. Now, this is what a lot of people are speculating to be the reason the dump happened, because a lot of people at first, the rumors were coming out that this is Satoshi Nakamoto. He's going to sell off all of the Bitcoin he has, and Bitcoin's going to go to zero. So that was the panic that came into the market first. Turns out it might not really be him. A lot of research was done behind the scenes, and it looks like it probably wasn't Satoshi's wallet, and it wasn't Satoshi's coin. So that can rest aside, at least for now, that it's most likely not Satoshi. Moving on, looking at the wallet itself, you'll notice the first, obviously, plus 50 Bitcoin in 2009. Nothing happened until 2020, the 20th of May, 2020, when 50 Bitcoin was taken away. Now, the key thing here to note, one of the coolest things is down here, the first movement, when it got 50 Bitcoin, that was within a month, I believe, of Bitcoin happening, right? First month of Bitcoin being a thing, this guy got 50 Bitcoin, or this wallet got 50 Bitcoin. So this is a very, very OG wallet. I don't know where it's from. I don't know who it is. I'm very curious to know who and why. More of the why all of a sudden after, 11 years, almost over 11 years, why now they would be moving the Bitcoin, but that's the question that I'm asking, everybody's asking, and we don't have any answers for. So I want to hear your guys' theories. Let me know in the comments down below. What do you think is going on with these 50 Bitcoin? What do you think the reason is? Do you think it's an institution? Do you think it's Satoshi himself? Do you think it's one of Satoshi's friends? Do you think they're doing it because, the market dropped and they need money, so they took out a quick $500,000? Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below. I'm going to go through, read all of them because I'm very, very interested, and maybe we'll even feature some of the best answers in the next video on Monday. But guys, that's going to be it for this video. A quick roundup of everything going on. Bitcoin dropped, not looking bearish on the bigger time frames, maybe on the 1 hour time frame, but not on the bigger time frames. Probably not Satoshi. If it is Satoshi, that'd be really cool too. Why is he moving his coins? Maybe they're going broke with everything going on in the market. Who knows? Or in the traditional markets. Who knows? But that's going to be it for the video. Like I said, guys, leave a thumbs up. Let me know down below your guys' thoughts. And as always, be subscribed and have your notifications turned on if you guys want to come in and see more videos breaking down what's going on in the price and then also looking at the news. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys on Monday for another video.